Welcome to the Horsepower Podcast, another edition in the hot sun, coming to you from the Coors Light Corral. Micah, as always,
Hello.
is here at the far end, and Bailey Devine-Scott is our guest.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You're welcome. We were, if you noticed when we started, we were laughing right off the bat because I asked Bailey if his dad slid into our DMs on Instagram because someone said, oh, the Australian guys should do a podcast, and then you showed up as the guest today. And I'm wondering if that was your dad or not, but I'm not totally sure. Do you know, does he slide into this is the team's account.
I'm not sure if he did or not, but it wouldn't surprise me though, knowing my dad, it wouldn't surprise me, that's for sure. I don't know if he would have, but yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, that's for sure.
I think it was Michaela. I don't want to misquote her now, but I think she said, oh, I think that might have been Bailey's dad. We'll have to check, or you can ask him, I guess.
Yeah, I'll ask him. I'll find out.
Is he mad about Canada beating him in multiple sports?
Oh, yeah, he might be a little, I think the whole country might be a little sad about the rugby sevens right now.
So everyone thought this was a random picking on getting BDS, but in fact, I asked 2 Australians on the team. I was asking for Cody to come on, or BDS, and BDS chose to be the one, and I'm not Canadian, my daughter is. But so I have nothing against the Aussies and how they lost to Canada in 2 different sports. Nothing against that. Was it 2 or 3?
It might have been 2, I think. But I know we lost to the US too in the bronze medal match. So we lost to Canada, then the US in the women's sevens. So I don't know what's going on with the rugby sevens right now.
What's going on? Yeah.
Well, this would be a little bit of a digress, but there's a sport
That's what we do on this show, just so you know. It's all about digression.
Yeah. All right, sweet. So there's a sport called rugby league, which is similar to union.
Okay.
And in Australia now, there's something called the WNRL, which is the National Rugby League for women. So now they're actually able to offer women contracts to a lot of the rugby players. Oh. So instead of playing rugby sevens and stuff, now they're being professional in the WNRL.
Okay. So
now,
the talent's being spread out a little bit?
Yes,
is that
the talent's kind of all going to the one sport now.
Wow. I see.
Whereas it used to be able to go around, but now that they're all professional in that league, whereas rugby sevens isn't as professional.
Okay. Do y'all hear that?
Excuses. Bit of knowledge.
Excuses. For a whole country. That's all I heard right there with excuses.
I guess it is an excuse, isn't it?
I mean, that's the same thing in America. Like, we can't be good at every sport. We got, I think if football players played a lot of other sport, like, I don't know, hockey or, I don't know, what are other sports? Water polo.
Well, I think
we'd be very...
Wait, yeah, aren't you guys good at water polo? Aren't the girls, didn't they just get, sponsored?
Probably. Oh, yeah, they did by Flavor Flav.
Yeah.
By Flavor Flav, yeah. Wow. Which I haven't heard of him since the 9th grade, freshman year in high school.
Well, your 9th grade's probably not my 9th grade.
All right, I'm not that old.
No offense, but yeah.
Cut that.
Are you guys hardcore into the Olympics? Like, do you find yourself on?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love the Olympics. I think it's one of the best things in sports. You've got these people that have dedicated their whole life to one event, whether that event's a 9-second sprint or it's a 2-hour race. You don't know, but I just love the dedication, the commitment these people have put into the Olympics.
Agreed.
So, I want to give a special shout out to gymnasts. Me and my family were watching that, and all of them. But I was watching a beam. Yeah, so beam is the one with, it looks like, I guess they call it a horse, the 2 legs and the
the pommel thing?
Yeah, the pommel.
Yes.
Is it called pommel or beam?
I thought it was the pommel. The beam is
There's
the
2
long,
different ones, yeah.
Like the long plywood thing.
The one where they stand on the long...
Yeah, the beam.
Yeah, the beam. They stand on a beam.
Skinny.
Yes.
Yeah, and they're kind of balancing on the beam, and they do flips on the beam.
Flips and handstands.
Yeah.
So,
the pommel is, I think, only men.
Only men do the pommel.
Right.
Also.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they got the handles, and they swing around it.
Oh, no. Yeah, not that one. The beam.
The beam. Okay.
The beam. So the beam. I was watching the beam routine. I think it's Simone Biles, stuff like that. It super impressive, right? And they were showing from kind of like that flat angle, kind of like how it is right now. Mm-hmm. But then they showed it from the long way angle, and she had done a black flip, and she landed. And give me a second.
Yeah.
The thing was this skinny, as skinny as this water bottle.
Yeah.
And she, with her feet palm, I'm like, it's that skinny?
Yeah, almost like grabbing it.
I think it was like this long, and they're just doing backflips. No, the thing is they do a backflip onto. I'm like, that's when I knew,
That's what did it for
that's
you.
when I knew, in golf, you can get lucky. Anyone can go out there, shoot under par. Swing the golf, you golf.
That's a wild claim there. That is a wild claim.
Have you ever golfed, Micah? It doesn't sound like you have.
I'm just saying, no, I'm not saying golf isn't hard. I'm saying like someone randomly can go out there and get lucky and shoot a hole in one. Everyone knows it's luck.
But you can't. Not everyone can do a backflip.
You can't go on a beam and just be like, I'm just gonna do a backflip and land on a. What is it, 3 inches, 2 inches?
Yeah, how long? Yeah,
there's no luck involved.
It's about the width of their feet, I would say.
Yeah.
But my point on gymnasts would be the rings. Like, have you seen the rings? Have you tried to hang from one of those?
No.
Iron cross?
Yeah,
How do you
like,
do that?
you can't. Yeah, exactly. I'd be shaking immediately.
But we also, another thing is like, we looked up the heights. It came up in meters. Thank you, Canada.
Metric
Converted,
system.
I know, which we all should be using. But as engineers, just stick to feet. Anyways, these guys are like 5'3". So it's like it's just a different world, but their body to power ratio is incredible.
Through the roof, yeah.
And shout out to gymnasts, for real. Sorry, that was it. That was a long-winded thing.
I mean, this is.
You're just showing love to gymnasts.
I am.
You're showing athletes.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
Game respects game.
Those guys doing the rings though, like their upper bodies are so developed and their bottom half not so much.
I don't know.
Can that be good for you?
I feel like it is.
No?
A guy tore his pec or his biceps and he was still doing the iron cross. I'm like, the thing would just rip out of my body. Like, yeah. Shout out to them.
Okay, if you guys were in the Olympics, what
sport?
would you be at? What would you be competing in?
What do I want to compete in, or what
yeah.
would I be best suited for?
Both.
Both? Okay. What would I want to compete in?
There's some like fencing. I forgot about fencing. There's some kind of unique things out there that I always forget about until the Olympics comes back around. It's like, oh yeah.
I actually thought fencing right away.
Swimming is a big one.
That'd be the one you'd want to do?
Yeah, it just seems like something like, it's technique and stuff like that. I don't know what's going on, but like,
I don't know.
It seems pretty hard. It seems like one of those things, I can just swim. No, but it's like probably so like technical on like when you attack, when you don't.
I was actually watching a match the other day and I didn't even know who scored.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't tell.
You can't tell.
No.
I can tell about the cheering.
Yeah, and
someone
the green,
cheers,
whoever gets the
cried.
green points, that's how I know who scores.
That's a good thing, yeah.
I like their mask. You seen their mask?
Yes,
It's like red, white, and blue, and then like it'll be France. Like their masks are kind of like hieroglyphics or whatever.
So that's yours, fencing? That's what you would do?
I don't know. Maybe that or like.
What about some sort of track and field sport? That's a good one. There's lots to pick from there. High jump, long jump, shot
I was
put.
a long jumper.
Yeah?
Oh.
Yeah, I wasn't incredible. I mean, I think with practice, probably would have got to maybe the lower collegiate level. But that's about it. Those
like a
guys are
D3
amazing.
level, maybe?
Yeah, those guys are amazing. Like, I remember in high school in Texas, I'm pretty sure they were jumping 26 feet, which would maybe almost qualify you Olympics in high school. That's Texas high school for you.
That is Texas high school.
Yeah, it's like I had nothing. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. It's hard. Water polo, but I sink like a rock.
Yeah, no, that
So
would
I
be
probably would. They'd be like,
the
"Where'd Micah
difficulty
go?"
to float for that whole
Have
game.
y'all seen Micah?
Yeah, he's on the bottom of the pool.
Bottom of the pool.
I would sink. I would sink and probably drown.
Ooh, I have a good one. Diving.
I
Diving is a good
love
scary
diving.
one, right?
I love diving. Yeah, that is cool. I was just thinking about it when you said that. Like, I've liked diving, especially the 10-meter platform.
Oh my god.
I don't think I'd be any good at it. I think it'd just be fun. But I do like the kayaking and canoeing.
Oh yeah,
the
that's
downhill
a good
and
one
like in the
too.
rapids.
Yep.
You've seen those? So they go through the rapids. They got to go through the
just
green
talk about the
ones,
straight
and then you got to
waterway.
go upstream against the red flags. So
Yeah.
it's a kind of a challenge, bit of an arm workout, but it looks like a lot of fun. I don't think I'd be any good at it, but I think I'd have a lot of fun out there. But what I'd be built for, I'd love to say I could race the 100.
Yes.
That is the platinum event.
I mean, that's like
That's the event you want.
Yeah.
So I would say that. I would either say my 100 and the canoeing and kayaking.
Of course, you would say the most dangerous sport as an Aussie. What is up with Aussies and like danger?
You
guys
live
literally
on the edge to know you're living.
in danger. Like you go outside. I think I saw some on Instagram. There's like 100 different ways to die outside your door in Australia.
Beginning with
Is that true?
spiders and snakes.
No. Well, I mean, yeah,
No.
but there's 100%
ocean
chance.
Yeah,
in
no, but
itself,
yeah.
There's a million.
Yeah, anywhere you go,
Opportunities, yeah.
you're going to get 100%. Like, there's going to be 100 chances to die walking out of your house. This is pretty morbid, but like,
I don't think that's true in Texas.
I promise you,
we don't.
if you
We
go,
don't get hurricanes.
Look, I'll
in
take
Dallas.
you home,
We
mate.
don't-
I'll take you home, and I will take you to where I live, and you will walk outside, and you won't see any snakes or spiders. Now, don't go to the bushes down the end of the street. You'll probably find some snakes in there and
See
some
my
spiders,
point?
but like,
You see my point?
you just stay
You know
away
what I
from
saw
them.
in bushes in Texas? Roly polies.
I don't even know what the roly
What are
poly is.
those?
Yeah.
I don't know
what
I'm glad
roly
that's not
polies
just
are.
me. No.
Enlighten us.
What do they call them in Canada?
Well, I don't-
the things
You gotta
that
explain what a roly poly is
the things
first.
that were in the dirt, and when you touch them, they would ball up.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
They
Yeah,
call them
I don't know what they're called though.
or something. You also a roly poly.
No.
It's like a little insect.
Even they're chicken
Spence,
head.
Rob, no.
Roly-poly,
no
like the things that you touch.
Is it an insect?
Yes, it's an insect.
Yeah.
A small
Okay.
insect, and they roll up, and when they get scared.
They
And
kind
does
of
it-
start like that and they curl up into like a little ball.
Does it hurt you though?
No.
Does it? No.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a really weird like
I'm
thing
just
to
saying,
recognize
we
in the
don't-
dirt.
Oh, you don't have dangerous
We
things.
don't have
Right.
dangerous.
Dangerous
That's the
things.
most
Yeah.
dangerous thing we have. It's scared of us. And lizards. It's terrified of lizards. They move like this.
Oh no, we got plenty of lizards.
Yeah, I know. Y'all got like Komodo dragons.
Not so
Yeah.
much. That's yeah. We got like blue tongue lizards though.
Have you seen 1,000 Ways to Die? Remember that show?
Million Ways to Die in the West?
No.
No.
That was probably
Seth
the
MacFarlane?
Australian version. No, y'all probably had a lot of those shows, probably.
No, we had a show called Dirtiest Jobs. I remember that. Used to watch that with my dad speaking about him.
My wife met the guy in Lubbock, Texas, of all places.
Yeah, that's.
And got an autograph with him.
Oh,
The
that's cool.
Dirtiest Jobs guy?
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
never heard of this show.
Oh, it used to
Micah
just,
knows. I don't. I try not to.
We need
watch
some
TV.
Googling.
Hey, but I
that's
watched.
homework
I
for-
watched that roommate thing we talked about. We should talk
Which
about that.
one?
Actually,
The first episode?
Sorry, we're Bailey. Last
No,
we
it's all
talked
right. Hit me
about
up.
living the worst roommate ever.
The worst
Is that what
yeah,
I
worst
started
roommate ever.
watching it? It's crazy. It's these two women. And I didn't even finish it, so I don't know. But it's just, but that's not even a documentary. You're like, oh, you can become
is a documentary.
educated through documentaries. What am I learning?
Didn't you learn
Watching these two
You
yahoos.
learned how not to get
Not to get murdered by my
ever.
roommate. Okay, anyways,
All
we
right.
digress. We should come back to
Yes.
the dirtiest jobs. Was that in Australia only?
There
No.
Is that
was
what
one
that
in
was?
Australia.
He
but there
did it
was
all over.
Yeah, there was
Okay.
all over the world. It was just a show. Basically, he would find jobs that weren't the funnest, I could
Yeah,
say. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Dirty
So
jobs.
yeah, dirty jobs, things you got to do. So I remember there was some in the mines out in Australia, going through holes and all that
The
sort of stuff.
mines
and,
out in Australia.
Yeah.
We got a lot to learn. The only Australian athlete I really know is Daniel Ricciardo.
Oh, Danny Ricciardo.
Because I
What about
watched
Oscar
F1.
Piastri?
Who?
You're talking F1, Oscar Piastri?
I'm only on season 5.
Yeah, you got to catch up. That's your fault.
Did you just give me another F1 writer? Don't tell me anything. I don't
Driver, but
Don't
yeah.
tell me that Max won another Grand Prix. Although I do know Hamilton just won one because it was on TSN. So TSN needs to block that for me.
You need to just catch up. You need to watch Drive to
you into
Survive.
F1
Binge.
big
Oh, I
time?
love
Oh,
F1.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I love F1.
He likes it too.
F1 is so much drama. It's so unfair. So this last week, if y'all didn't know, F1 update.
Okay, we're talking about the series though now, not
Yeah,
just the sport, right?
Well,
okay.
no, we're talking about the sport now.
Like all of
Are we
it.
talking-
Okay.
are we talking about the sport or Drive
This
to
is
Survive?
live. This is live. It happened last week
So
or
this
something.
is Micah's issue, right? Just so people know, Micah loves F1, but he's only watching Drive to Survive.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
he's not
That's-
watching the new season
Right, okay.
that's coming out
But
now.
I'm watching it live. So George Russell of Mercedes, they were competing, so they let them compete. Hamilton, which is a crazy thing in F1. Guys actually competing with teammates, it's crazy. You got to get into the show to get more of that. But they competed, and George Russell won. But then after the race was over, they had a little test, and he was 1.5 kilograms under the
Weight limit.
and got it erased. So Hamilton won. I love Hamilton. But so sad for George. But it's just crazy. Stuff like that happens at F1. 1.5? How did that happen? Maybe the tire got treaded that last turn and sorry guys. We can talk about F1 on
That's
all
okay.
day. It could
No,
be-
you're pumped about it.
Yeah, no, you are right though. A lot could have happened because they were going to do a 2-stop race originally, and then they wanted to do a 1-stop race, and then they didn't calculate. I think it was maybe the tire weight or something that they would have.
They have to
burnt through.
calculate tire weight.
Well, I'm guessing if you burn in rubber, right?
I know, but I was
I
like
don't
kind of
know, I'm just
assuming, guys, this is why F1's such a big deal. Like we're talking about tire weight.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
I was, and that's probably actually a huge mistake.
That
for
means you
them.
have to-
Wouldn't
It was,
it be
yeah.
to miscalculate that?
But you
Like,
got to think
that's
about
crazy
the,
though.
how
yeah.
do you even that's so
How
much
do you-
engineering.
I know that's crazy.
It is. There's a lot of engineering. That's what.
We're both engineers, by the way. If y'all didn't know, he's a mechanical engineer, right? Correct.
Yeah,
I
mechanical.
didn't know you were an engineer.
Mhm.
Yeah, mechanical
Oh.
engineering degree. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what kind of engineer are you?
Petroleum.
Petroleum.
Yeah, I'm
It's
the
like-
artsy type.
Yeah. Gas and where's the oil and all
Oil.
that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's mechanical
Alberta.
engineering? I don't know the difference.
Make the drills that get the oil out of the ground.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
To keep it in an Alberta
Okay.
reference.
You guys got skills.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good
Good try to use them
numbers.
on a football skill.
Yeah.
on football.
Good with
Yeah, I
numbers.
know.
So when you
Yeah.
got to count to 4 in football, it's not that difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, you just got to count to 4 really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. Anyway, we could talk about engineering too. We need a part 2 probably with you, and you can go into
I'm down for a part 2.
yeah, give people some lessons
Yeah, on
on
what?
some I don't
Engineering.
know differential equations. I'm just
Oh,
throwing
I don't
out
wanna
words.
talk about
Yeah, I know.
DFQs.
No, DFQ was hard. That was
No.
extremely hard. we shouldn't talk about it. No one can relate.
Nobody wants to
Wait,
talk about
I
nerd
actually
stuff.
still have a question though. Why did you guys pick engineering?
It's a great question. Do you want to start with that? I'll go first. Originally, I wanted to do physiotherapy when I was in high school.
Yep.
Because I either wanted to play sport or I wanted to work in the sports world and work with the body, work with the athletes. And then I took an elective class, and one was for physical therapy and one was for engineering. And we just went in there and started building a bunch of stuff. I built a hydroelectric machine which makes electricity out of water. I was welding things. We tried to make an elevator. We were coding. We were just doing a lot of fun stuff. And I just realized after the 2-year class, I was like, I think this is the field I want to be involved in. And I was never really big into English. I can read books and stuff, but I don't want to. Yeah, I'm not illiterate, but I'm.
I wasn't into English.
But I just
speak English in Australia?
No, we speak English. I just don't I'm not going to decipher a poem. Kidding me?
No.
That was what we did in English class. I'm not going to decipher.
My father-in-law was an English major, and my brother-in-law. So
really?
Shout out to them. Y'all's lives matter.
Yeah, no, I wasn't nothing against English majors for sure.
Sorry,
it's
I just did
for
that
me.
for everyone else who was probably across the thing. I'm going to get this guy. I'm going to trick this Aussie when I see him.
Yeah, no, nothing against English majors. Just wasn't my cup of tea.
That's fair. Yeah.
I took high-level math classes. I liked physics, and it just kind of seems to be the route to go for me, and I like being hands-on.
Right.
And the best part about engineering was working in a team with everything.
That's cool.
Everything we do, we're working in a team.
With a team. That's why we love sports. Engineering and sports go hand in hand. Our helmets, engineering, everything we wear out on the field, engineering.
Yeah, that's
true. The engineering in sports, and that was a field I was interested in too.
Yeah.
The study of sports, it goes from sports science to sports engineering, designing helmets, shoulder pads,
cool,
all that sort of stuff.
What's the coolest thing you built while you were in school? Did you randomly just build things?
I mean, I worked with one of my professors in my senior design project when I was graduating Western New England University, so my college. Shout out Western New England University. Had to throw it in there.
Where is that? I don't know.
No one knows. Massachusetts, Western Mass, Springfield, Mass.
Okay.
But I was working with a professor, and we were actually making a 3D printer, but using nano wires. So there was a lot of intricate parts in that.
Y'all gonna have to subtitle this.
Yeah. So
y'all gonna have to subtitle this one.
It's literally making a 3D printer, but instead of using plastic wires, we're using nano wires.
Okay.
Small wires.
Okay.
Nano.
Okay.
Yeah. That was the coolest thing I probably was involved in building. Yeah. We actually have a patent with the professor now, and so.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a pretty cool. It was a pretty cool project to be involved in. So, and whenever football ends, I'll probably go back and look into that for sure.
Hire this guy.
Micah, why did you pick engineering?
So I had a while to think about that.
Yeah.
And I was going to give you a PC answer, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to tell the truth.
We don't want PC on this
show.
So,
as a Nigerian kid, I was born in Nigeria. And everyone knows this. Everyone who's ever had a Nigerian friend or whatever, there's basically only 3 professions you can go into: engineering, lawyer, or doctor. And
really? Okay.
So I was
expectations are high.
Yeah, I was tier 3 engineer.
It's up the top or nothing.
Yeah, I was gonna be a doctor, but then I got a 4-year scholarship, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just in 4 years I can get an engineering degree. In 4 years you can't necessarily get a doctorate degree.
That's true. Yeah.
So I chose tier 3.
Jeez.
Sorry. Yeah, but it's just the honest truth. I couldn't think of anything else to tell you because it'd just be a lie. But no, I loved engineering though.
Yeah.
It sounded like you were forced into it for a moment.
No. I was gonna do. If I wasn't gonna do petroleum, I was probably gonna do computer science or computer engineering because I love computers. I mean, I coded a whole app. Purple Shift. That's a drop. Go look at Purple Shift.
Drop his own app in there.
It's a free app. Kids get on in Calgary. Y'all already know about it. We'll talk about it later.
Plug.
Yeah, subtle plug. But no, it really is fun. And my professor actually, I was talking to my parent-in-laws yesterday. They didn't know that Dr. Watson, he's been to Calgary many times, and he's a huge petroleum engineering guy, but he actually also played football and was an engineer at Cornell University.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was a linebacker and center. So he always kind of had a heart for me because it's how hard it was. But he's way smarter than me. He's a literal genius. And back then they didn't have petroleum engineers. They had chemical engineers. But now at Texas Tech, it's one of 7 universities that have petroleum engineering. So therefore I chose petroleum engineering, and I still do use a lot of the skills. The main skill that we've learned as engineers is after you get the answer, does it make sense?
Yeah,
that's how you check your work.
Very good point.
I
You
like
know?
that.
Or are
Yes.
you in the right units?
Yeah, are you the right unit? Is it 1,000 degrees outside, or I guess should I say what's a good? Is it
1,000
100
kilonewtons or is it 1,000 newtons?
Let's do something easier.
Yeah.
Is it 100? Is it 100 Celsius outside or 100 degrees outside? You see,
Yeah, all right.
100 Celsius is like 300 degrees, but 100 degrees makes more sense. It's more
100
possible.
Celsius
Right.
is 212 Fahrenheit.
That's why he's an engineer. Mechanicals
Just
know
going
more of
about
that stuff. Anyways,
You guys are super smart. I'm impressed.
you're smart too.
Throwing all this.
You're
Don't
smart
let
too.
Micah try and
Everyone
trick you.
is smart. You're smart in your own way. We just happen
That's
to be
true.
starting this way, but everyone is smart in their own way.
That's true.
Yeah.
I like it. On that, I mean, that might be a good place to leave it. I think we're almost at the 20-minute mark. That went by fast.
I did go by quick.
Yeah. Next week we're gonna learn about thermodynamics. Just kidding.
I won't be here. Michaela will be here. I'm
Oh,
just
tell
kidding.
Thermo-
No,
tell
I feel,
Michaela.
I learn a lot on these podcasts from you guys. They're very educational.
It's just like the
Really.
worst roommate ever. You learned a lot.
I did learn a lot.
How to
Okay,
not choose a bad roommate. Sorry. Go ahead.
That's
Close
right.
it.
You have some homework. You have to go to your dad and ask him if he
Yeah, I'll text
was
him right
getting
after
into
this.
our DMs.
Yeah,
I
I'll
think his
definitely
idea
text
was
him
to
right.
get the Australians onto the podcast, like more than one. So you and maybe
Right.
Cody. I think that's what the message was. I can't remember.
Well, then it just
I didn't
happened. He made
answer
it. He made
yeah,
it
he
work.
spoke into existence.
He spoke into existence.
Did he text you
Here
too?
you are.
No,
No?
but he probably texted my heart.
Yeah,
Like,
he
you
might
know,
have. Yeah, he
I
definitely
thought
did.
about you. I said, you know what? I asked you in Konar, but I wanted you to say yes.
Yeah.
And you said yes with the.
Yeah, I was
go.
quick.
Love
He
it.
spoke to
Yes.
me and I was like, yeah, I'm down. Let's go.
Oh,
Awesome.
man.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. Thanks,
Been great.
everybody. We'll talk to you next week.
See y'all.
Says.